Rhodes in the hot seat because he made a decision at WWE Payback a few weeks ago that really rattled the roster, the locker room, so to speak. As he
Rhodes in peril.
not Rose Conta in peril. He shook the kingdom. Very funny for his song. He shook the kingdom by adding Jey Uso to the Monday Night Raw family. And in return, SmackDown gets a trade of some sort, some NBA free agency compensation, still unknown at this point. And when he made this decision, the roster on Monday Night Raw was not pleased by this move at all, with the exception of maybe one Sami Zayn, who gave him a warm welcome back to Monday Night Raw. Who did not greet him for this homecoming ceremony was none other than Kevin Owens. And Cody had a quick match against Dominic Mysterio, hit the crossroads with the 1, 2, 3. After the match is over, we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out, and KO was like, listen, I got something to talk to you about. We went to commercial break. We come back and KO's in the cut saying, listen, dude, so you made a decision a few weeks ago to bring back Jey Uso, the guy that basically cost me 5 championship matches in the last 3 years, who has beaten my ass repeatedly, has beaten your ass repeatedly, has beaten Sammy's ass repeatedly. Why did you bring him back on this show to kumbaya with us? And Cody's like, well, you see, I am a man of the people. I listen to the people, and therefore they love Jey. Don't you love Jey people? They cheer, they're happy, and KO is buying none of this. And Sammy's like, well, Kevin, we have forgiven Jey. He broke free from the bloodline like I did. And, we're ready to move forward. Are you ready to move forward? And he's like, listen, y'all can have this Jey Uso party all to yourself. I'm just going to be me, but I trust you guys. I trust you. I like you. I don't trust or like Jey. I'm out of this piece. And I'm glad they had this conversation on live television because I am laughing because Jeremy is doing a pantomime of this entire segment. And I hope it sees the light of day on YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. I hold it together until the end, but it's accurate, I have to say. So KO leaves the scene, and Cody and Sami are standing there holding the bag, and they're trying to be Jay's new best friends, and Kevin's having none of it. And on the side of all of this, we have Judgment Day still recruiting Jey to join the family because Rhea is not enough of a pull. We're all equals, Jey, but you have to make a decision by the end of the night, according to Damian Priest. So I liked this for Monday Night Raw, having this conversation, and Kevin having rightful reservations about trusting a guy that cost him not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 championship matches in the last 3 years. Scott, your take on Cody's explanation, because he's all about the people and giving them what they want, even though he got screwed in the main event of WrestleMania by way of Jey and the entire bloodline.
I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot. Like, I thought that they did the match just to say they had a match, and then they did like a 20-minute people's court on whether Jey Uso should, like, whether he was guilty or not guilty. Like, there's the court show where they got the 3 judges. That's what it felt like, and they all went in the back. We're like, all right, let's discuss this case right here. It was a bit much. I thought Cody did good as far as his explanation. He's all about the second chances. He got a second chance at WWE. Now he wants to give Jey Uso a second chance, and the bloodline is down a member. It's all happy, kumbaya. It's not for me. It's all right. It's fine. It's just a placeholder. That's it.
Thank you, Scott. He was like, well, this is just not a big fan of the kumbaya, hug it out. I totally understand it, but at least we got a reason. But Cody's explanation kind of sort of sucks. I'm not going to lie. But Jeremy, your take on this conversation, this intervention for Kevin Owens to be Jey Uso's new best friend?
16 weeks until NFL on Mondays is over and the college football championships are over. And do you remember in the past when Triple H would mysteriously return after those ratings were over and he could come back in and get his WrestleMania program ready to go for, 5-10 years in a row there, where this would generally be the practice. We are in the lull period, and this is exactly the blueprint for slowing the roll down, going into a somewhat high-speed cruise control for WWE, and just letting these angles simmer and burn. We got Kevin Owens a little bit upset that Jey Uso is here. Great. Let's have this play out until Survivor Series, which is about 8 or 9 weeks out from here. We'll burn off a bunch of programming. This is all just setting the table, trying to get the stage set for all the big events coming up, and it's going to be a while. If you are okay with the stage being set and the basic roots being planted with this story, I think there's something here to it, like getting all of these guys on the same page, potentially for a Survivor Series match, a war game, something like that. That sounds like a lovely execution of a plan. I'm all for it. But if you think that we're getting instant gratification or anything other than just a slow trickle of storyline over the rest of September, over the rest of October, going into November, quietly into December until January, I'm sorry, we're going to get a couple of major storyline progressions, but this is the status quo going forward. Hate to break it to you. Not that exciting, but sometimes you got to slow your roll in order to make it more exciting later on.
Agree. This is definitely placeholder season. Raw ratings are going to get bludgeoned by the NFL for the next 2 to 3 months. It's not going to be pretty. And why do a whole lot on your show when you're going to get bludgeoned like this? You can't pop a rating because there's nothing you can basically do when the ratings are bleeding. But we know they're going to bounce right back up just in time for the Royal Rumble. But I do like the storyline a bit more than what Jimmy Uso's doing on SmackDown. That's just straight up stagnation and running in circles. This is at least fresh with Jey trying to make amends for what he's done. He's not going to kiss anybody's ass. And you do have people who are trying to give him a second chance, like Cody, like Sammy. You have the dissenters and Kevin and Drew McIntyre, among others. But that is going to lead to a truce eventually, and maybe lead to Drew's heel turn. Now that Riddle's out of the picture, he can finally be the heel he's meant to be, and that could be a run with a certain group